Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today's video is going to be all about vermin. How to get rid of your vermin and what are the best ways to actually do it. We're talking mice and rats, and I've developed, well, quite the system and a low-cost system to get rid of your vermin. And well, you take a look in the background here, you got a bucket, you got some traps, you got a piece of concrete, you got some peanuts, and you got a secret sauce. And I'll tell you what, it works terrific. And I've shown various different types of traps in the past. I've shown different baits, and I've shown different setups on how to actually, well, to get rid of the vermin, right? And I'm going to show you how this operates. I already have one done, I would say, about 4 months ago. It's a little bit different. I just wanted to prove the concept. This one here is going to be an improvement. I'm also going to show you my setup that I made for a bait that actually gets rid of the vermin too. A non-toxic bait, and I have that outside on the side of my garage. I'm going to show you that too. And this works in concert with this because the bait doesn't always actually work. And I've proved that over time where some vermin just don't want to go near the bait. They'd rather go near my secret sauce. So let's take a look and let's see how you build one of these. Just an ordinary bucket. Everybody's got like a bucket, right? And most of the time we just pitch them in the recycling bin. But no, this is something that you can do yourself. So easy, and it works. Okay, this is the first part. Now I'm using this multi-tool. You can use anything you want to cut this with. It's just very simple, and everybody's got tools to actually do this in one form or another. It's very simple. There's the dimensions right there. And as you can see, it is 1.5 inches up to the first line and then about 2.5 across. Don't be that picky. Doesn't really matter. The only thing I'll tell you is I've made sure that the secret sauce that I'm putting in there, well, I don't find anything else goes in there like squirrels or anything else. It's only been vermin. So I'll show you how this is cut. It is so easy, you can do it yourself. So here's the 2 lines. There's the one cut. There's the second cut. Okay, so what do we do next? Well, what we do next is we fold this up just like this, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Just like that. And all I've done there was I drilled a hole in here, I drilled a hole in the top, you can see right here, put a zip tie in there. And what is the purpose of that? Well, my other one didn't have it, and what I found is I just used like a hole saw and drilled a round hole through. The problem is when you get snow at nighttime or during the day, it covers up the hole. So if you don't live in an area that has snow, then you can just actually just disregard this part here. But if you live in a climate like I do where there's lots of snow and you wake up in the morning and all the snow has covered the entranceway, well, you know, that's not such a great idea. But as you can see, what it does do, when you put a little bit of a lip over here, the snow will come down and it'll still leave an opening. And you know what? They can smell like a hound. So I'll show you the next step that I do, including the secret sauce. And then I'll take you for a little tour out in the backyard after and show you how this is all set up. Well, that is exactly what the setup all entails. And if we take a close look in there, yeah, you could see what's going on, right? And it's so very easy to do. And the little paving stone here is just so that the wind doesn't move it around, or, you know, maybe if you have like a raccoon that comes around late in the season, well, it's not going to bother this at all. And you know, this is the other type of mouse trap that I've shown in the past. Awesome mouse trap, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you this one here because this trap in here is a good trap as well. Okay, so what is the secret sauce? The secret sauce is bacon grease. And you know when you're finished cooking up some bacon, well, you just let it cool right down and you pour off just the top, not all the sediment or anything else, just the top. And this will stay in here all winter long, and I'll just use a bit at a time. But I'll show you how it actually goes on the trap itself. And in there, you can see there's like a little bit of a pocket. Yeah, let's take a good look. Yeah, there's a peanut in there. And that is just some old stale peanuts that I had sitting around, some dry roasted peanuts. Any peanuts work, right? Like, I mean, you don't got to be that picky with the peanuts. But this is a awesome setup, and they really go for it. So why would they want to go inside here? Well, this is the whole idea right here. You see that right there? That's all you need is to pour, you know, smother the bacon grease on the top, on the inside, and you would not believe the amount of smell that will come out both sides to attract them to go in there in the first place. And when they smell that, well, I'm telling you, I have caught lots of vermin with this recipe, and the first thing they do is go right here. So let's go out in the backyard and I'll show you the setup and how it's all set up, and you take a look and see what you think. Okay, so let's take a look at the setup here. And as you can see, there's the trap down there, and it's very obvious that I've just used a hole saw and just cut out a hole in this bucket, and I just put a paving stone on top. I place it down here, and it's so easy just to take the stone off, tilt the bucket up, and see if you caught anything. Now this is the best part. This is not only the lure to get them to come in the area to get trapped, but this particular bait here actually, well, it works just as good as a trap. And I am going to bring that in and show you how good it actually works and how you can make this homemade recipe yourself. But remember, you can't use this until about starting in October, or if it starts to get cold, because if you have ants in your area, well, they will eat more of this than anything else. So I don't put this out at all until it gets cold in about the end of September, beginning of October. So let's take a look at the setup on the other side, which is beside my garage, and you can take a look how that works too. So here's the setup on the other side, and you can see there's the bucket that I just put out today, and of course it's got the little attachments for the snow on the side. And what I am going to do with the other bucket is just screw on a couple of covers to go over, so it pretty much does the same thing as this. And again, I've got one of these containers, and this actually works in combination with the trap, because like I said before, they don't always want to go for the bait, but you know, you have that bacon grease in there, and I tell you, it's just like, well, like honey to bees. So you know, in this combination itself works terrific. Now I will tell you something, I haven't seen any action on this at all, and I replenished the bait in there already once, and nothing is going near it right now. And the other trap that I showed you, I haven't caught anything in about a week and a half. So there's hardly any vermin around my area right now because I've been keeping right on top of it. So let's take a look and see what's in here and how this may be a viable option for you if you don't want to go with the trap method. Okay, so this container system here, I just bought at the dollar store, and it's like a $3 investment. So now, if you take a look in here, all you can see is I've got about 1 3/4 inch hole here, and same on the other side. And nothing goes in here except, as you can see, well, the vermin have been eating away and scratching at this one. Now, what is that? That is just peanut butter and baking soda mixed up really, really, really good. And it will get rid of their vermin just as well as a trap. But there's some that I've noticed will not go near the bait, but go into the secret sauce, which is the bacon grease, depending on what time of year it is. You know, and they just have different tastes, right? So, I mean, this might be a viable option for you right there. So if you're looking for a way to get rid of your vermin in your particular area, well, I've given you a couple of options here. Some people, well, they don't want to go near the traps, and that's fine. But the peanut butter and the baking soda, I've proved it to myself how good it actually works. But the thing is, it takes some time. It takes, well, I done this last year as well, like last winter, and it does take some time. And I would say I put it in an area where I knew there was a lot of vermin, and within about a month or so, they stopped feeding at it. And you know, that is a very good sign right there. But a lot of people have no idea the vermin in their area until they start actually looking for it. And I was surprised. So I've been doing this for quite a long time, you know, reducing the population of the vermin, because you know what? Next thing you know, they're everywhere, right? And you're just going to be, well, overrun, because that's what they seem to do, is they go in cycles like that. And the worst thing that I've seen that people do that just have a vermin explosion is putting in these great big piles of compost, making compost, using these open bins of compost. Because I had a neighbor behind me, and I mentioned this last year, that put one of these up. Guess what he did? Took the whole thing apart and got rid of it because, well, he didn't know the amount of vermin that were inside that compost bin until he started to take it apart in the springtime, and it was just rats and, you know, just going everywhere. So, you know, that's, you got to actually, you know, get away, you know, to remove the food source and to remove places where they want to actually, you know, set up a nest. So you have to actually look for them, and this is a great alternative, you know, using, you know, just the bait itself. And it's so easy to get the baking soda and the peanut butter, mix it up really, really good. Now, I put gloves on, you know, and when I'm handling the traps or mixing here, I don't use my hands and my fingers or anything else, because, well, you're leaving scents all over the place by using your hands. So disposable gloves works fine. And I've had great success with the bacon grease, like huge big success with that, and just put a little peanut in there, so you know, well, they just can't resist it. So thanks for joining me here today. I hope you found this informative, a little bit of a review on how I reduce the amount of vermin in my particular area. Leave me a comment below if you've noticed you've got a lot of vermin in your area and how you actually get rid of them. Because these are two viable operations that I've done, but I'm always listening for, you know, for others' advice on how they actually do it. Now, I don't use any poison baits because, well, you've got, for me, I'm a squirrel lover, right? And I don't want to have any squirrels, you know, being affected by, you know, by this. Plus, a lot of people that put these baits out, well, the raccoons get into that too, and I don't want to see any raccoons hurt either, right? You know, or people have cats, they have, you know, you never know what's going to happen with a lot of these baits when you have poison baits out. So I don't use the poison baits. I use the peanut butter and baking soda, and I use a trap that has a lid on it that nothing else is going to get into, and it's been fine. I haven't had any experience with any problems with any other animals, you know, getting near any of this stuff. And to tell you the truth, from what I've looked into, if a squirrel were to go in here and eat some of this, it wouldn't bother them at all. But the rats and the mice, oh no, they can't be eating this kind of stuff. So thanks for joining me here today. Come back again, And if you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe and see some unique things that maybe you never know about. And I like presenting unique stuff on my channel, and I hope you enjoy watching it. Cheers.